US Physics Olympiad year 2011. F equal MA. First round. Solution for these problems you can find below this video on the reference. Problem 5. A crude approximation is that the Earth travels in a circular orbit about the Sun at constant speed at a distance of 150 million kilometers from the Sun. Which of the following is closest for the acceleration of the Earth in this orbit? Solution. Because we assume that the Earth is going by a circular orbit with a constant speed, we can assume that the centripetal acceleration equal omega square r, where omega is angular speed of Earth and r is the radius of this orbit. Now we can find what is angular velocity. Angular velocity equal to pi over period, and we know that period is 365 days approximately. Now we can count what is centripetal acceleration. That will be 4 pi square over period square multiplied by radius. Now we can put all numbers and use SI system, meters and seconds. So finally we will get 0.006 meters per second square, which is answer B. Problem number 6. Solution for this problem you can find below this video in the reference of this description. A child is sliding out of control with a velocity vc across a frozen lake. He runs head-on into another child, initially at rest, with 3 times the mass of the first child, who holds on so that the two now slide together. What is the velocity of the couple after the collision? Solution. Here we can use momentum conservation. We assume that there are no friction. Initial momentum is mass of the first child multiplied by his velocity vc, and this momentum equal to final momentum, which now is total mass of two childs, which is 4m multiplied by new velocity. So after equalizing these momentums, we can find that new velocity equal just 4 times less than initial velocity, which is answer E. Problem number 7. Solution for this problem you can find below this video in the reference of the description. An ice skater can rotate about a vertical axis with an angular velocity omega 0 by holding her arms straight out. She can then pull in her arms closer to her body so that her angular velocity changes to 2 omega 0. Without the application of any external torque, what is the ratio of her final rotational kinetic energy to her initial rotational kinetic energy? Solution. We can express kinetic energy of rotation by this formula. Initial kinetic energy E0 equal 1/2 I omega 0 square, where I is rotational inertia. Also here we have angular momentum conservation, which equal to I omega. So we can rewrite this formula in the form of 1/2 L omega 0, where L is same as initial and the final. And now we can express final kinetic energy, which is equal 1/2 same angular momentum L multiplied by new omega, which is 2 omega 0. So it means that new kinetic energy exactly twice greater than initial kinetic energy, which is answer B. Problem number 8. Solution for this problem you can find below this video in the reference for description. When a block of wood with a weight of 30 newtons is completely submerged under water, the buoyant force on the block of wood from the water is 50 newtons. When the block is released, it floats at the surface. What fraction of the block will then be visible above the surface of the water when the block is floating? Solution. The weight of this block is 30 newtons, which we can write in formula V0 multiplied by rho, that's density of wood, and multiplied by g, free fall acceleration. From other hand, buoyancy force equal 50 newton, which we can rewrite in form of this one. The same volume of block now multiplied by density of water and multiplied by g equal 50 newtons. And when this block is float, we can write this in formula weight of this block W, which is 30 newtons, equalized by buoyancy force, and now it's a new volume of submerged block multiplied by rho water multiplied by g. And finally we can divide first this equation by this equation and find what is the ratio of V over V0. This will be 3 over 5. But the question is what is the part of block above the surface, which is from this that will be 2/5, and the solution is 2/5.